Right now, supporters of former President Donald Trump are rallying to raise money to help pay his mounting legal fees. In the wake of Friday's ruling in New York, a supporter launched the GoFundMe page with a goal of $355 million. That's how much the judge ordered Trump to pay in penalties in a civil fraud case.
All right, so the page is getting thousands of views right now, leaving many questioning, is this even legal? And for those answers, of course, we're going to go to our chief legal expert, Khalif Rhodes, joining us right here. I mean, a lot of questions with this. Can this page be shut down?
Well, that number, 355 million, that's directly right on board. And that wasn't popped out of the air. You're trying to cover the fees. And so the short answer is yes. And so you have a lot of folks that have pushed back and they're saying, well, why are you not shutting this down? GoFundMe has shut down a number of pages in the past. Probably most recently is the Rittenhouse page for the shooting in Missouri when they had a page that was trying to support his legal defense. And so to your question is, GoFundMe said that it currently falls within our policies. And so I looked at their policies. It says you're agreeing when you sign up for this that you're not using these funds to do something to support or to raise money for the legal defense of alleged financial and violent crimes. And so the Rittenhouse one would clearly be violent crimes. They were trying to support his trial. Well, you would say, hey, this is alleged financial crimes. Well, it's not for his defense. The trial's already over.
Right.
He's already been found to have committed fraud, and there's an amount of $355 million is what he owes. And so this is just to pay back the fees. And so the detail is in the wording. The folks that created this page have done an excellent job of recognizing that it doesn't talk about fees for a punishment for a actual amount that you owe. So they're spot on, 100% within their policy. But GoFundMe's answer lets me know that they may be amending it.
Well, and they get 3% off the top, so I'm sure they're not too upset about this either. But Khalif, there is kind of a gray area here, right?
$355 million as well.
So is there a difference between Trump using this money to help pay his legal penalties and any sort of campaign financing?
That would be the other issue. If folks are making a donation to his campaign, then you're opening a whole nother can of worms that I can rest assured that he does not want to open, because the individual that is submitting a request to your campaign or donation, I should say, they're limited into what they can give. You have to capture a certain amount of financial documentation on a person, where they work. And so those loopholes that they have to jump over are way higher than what GoFundMe has. I would say that if anyone is attempting to use this as a way to donate money to his campaign, you're going to put him in, again, more legal trouble than he wants to do. But the former president is not looking for ways to raise money. He just dropped those shoes, $399, raised $399 million, sold out in a couple hours. So I don't see this as an issue for him at all going forward in terms of finding a way to come up with the money.
But real quick, if he appeals the case and he wins the appeal, then you have all this pot of money. Where can that money go?
Well, you got to remember, before you get to the appeal, he has to come up with that bond. And so that's like $18 million. And so you're going to find a bonding company that wants to be able to do that. I don't think that's happening as well. He's going to have to come up with that money at some point fast.
Khalif, thanks for the answers. Appreciate it.
For sure.